Good evening from Maui. The sounds that you hear behind my voice is actually no other than the wonderful Pacific Ocean. And like I said, it's nighttime, so there's really not a lot for you to see. I'm just kind of looking down over the balcony. I kind of want to try to make this fun for you guys. So I can show you the pool. That's one of them anyway. Today, I just kind of want to talk to you about the recovery model. And the recovery model was actually based on the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. The recovery model says that recovering from any kind of a emotional or mental illness is a personal journey. That doesn't mean that we have to do it alone, though. We have to learn to empower people, and it doesn't matter if they have a mental illness or not, because we're all susceptible to issues with our emotions and issues with our thinking and issues just in general. We may not all be susceptible to things like schizophrenia or psychosis, although sometimes I wonder, but we are susceptible to emotional disorders and mood disorders like anxiety and depression and OCD even. OCD is, well, it's kind of anxiety. It's related to anxiety. It's trying to just kind of organize things so that people can control their environment. So through a journey of healing and personal empowerment, we help people realize their full potential and meaning in life. We all want to know meaning. I mean, I've talked to so many people, and I think the $100 million question is, why am I here? And sometimes when we have emotional issues, that question just becomes so loud. We want to know why we're here and why we have to suffer and why are all these things happening. And people that are in the hospital are especially susceptible to depression, anxiety, because any kind of mental, I don't like to call it mental illness, but mental or emotional challenge comes when we're under stress. We believe neurobiologically that the stress can actually affect the chemicals in the brain, the neurons. And when they get disrupted, our body just can't produce enough as fast as it needs to. So we start to feel different. This model talks about that we do have to find that satisfaction, and we have to find our potential. And we have to learn to function at what we know as an optimal level. Some people are not sure what their optimal level is. And this is a journey. That's why this is a journey. It's like you're not going to just wake up one morning and say, I know my optimal level. It takes time. We also have to learn how to have good quality personal relationships and be interactive with society. A lot of times when we're not feeling totally good, people tend to isolate, and the isolation can cause the mental issues to become worse because we're separating ourselves from the things that can heal us. For some reason, when our minds don't feel good, a lot of people just like to stay asleep, stay in bed. They don't want to go out. They don't want to do much of anything, and it's those things that can help us connect with others and actually help us feel better. So we need to encourage people to do that. We also have to learn coping skills or tools. Sometimes in AA, they're called tools of recovery. And that means that we have to recognize what our triggers are. And that's something that comes later in time. That's not something that when you're first trying to feel better, you're going to try to identify. That's after, okay? you learn to believe in yourself. And you learn to believe in yourself because other people believe in you. So when you're a nurse and you're able to tell people that you believe in them and you mean it, that shows them that they're worth believing in. So this recovery model, based on instead of looking at the let's look at the little cuts. So the recovery model, instead of looking at, looking at the mental illness, it's looking at the person in a holistic manner. It's learning that we really can recover. And it has a lot of different parts. We have to learn that it involves our health. So we have to learn to make informed decisions and healthy decisions. Because remember, our bodies are biological in nature. So if we're going to function at an optimal level, we need to do things like stay hydrated and eat a variety of foods and not eat the foods that make our bodies feel bad. And remember that everybody is an individual. So what's good for one person may not be so good for another. We also have to learn about emotional well-being. Then everybody deserves a safe home. I went to mentalhealth.gov and they actually listed health, home, purpose, and community. Home has to be stable and safe. So if you're going to heal, you don't need a lot of chaos going on in your home. And that makes sense, right? So say someone is an alcoholic. Well, them trying to go home to a house that has alcoholics running rampant, that's not going to help them recover. Same thing with anxiety. If your house is bringing you anxiety because maybe you do or don't have the coping skills or the tools that you need to deal with the situations at home, that's not going to help you until you learn the tools. So sometimes people have to distance themselves from the situation that's really getting to them. Sometimes they're able to stay in the situation. So it varies. The third one is purpose. We all have to have that purpose in our life. And it's something that just doesn't come usually right away. Sometimes it's difficult. And then a community. We have to do things with other people. So we're going to talk about different coping skills, and we're going to talk about tools of just learning to live in a healthy manner, and a lot of different things in this class. The thing that I want you guys to kind of research for this week or at this moment is what does hydration and nutrition have to do with any of this? And even though logically we can kind of put it together, I want you guys to find some evidence-based practice, evidence that kind of lets us know what do we need to do to have our body and mind, mostly mind, function at an optimal level. Because it all starts in the basics. I hope I kind of made this a little bit of fun, and I know you may be wanting to go swimming in that pool, but it's closed. It closed at 10 and it's 11 now. So you have to wait till tomorrow to go swimming. I'm signing off this week from Maui.